What is intertextuality? Chances are you may already know what it means, but you never quite gave a name to it. Intertextuality is the idea that the text makes reference to a subject matter that the audience already knows the context of. This can be in the form of a comedic clip, a crossover, a callback, etc. This is a common motif across all mediums of media, but most especially in TV shows. In regards to television, there's a plethora of content to choose and analyze from in the lens of intertextuality. Almost every TV show includes some sort of pop culture acknowledgement. But there's one show in particular that I want to talk about that possibly does this the most. It's a show that spans across multiple decades, watched by hundreds of thousands every day. It speaks to the audience in a comedic and fourth wall breaking way, almost as if you're part of their family. As you may already know, Family Guy is a show full of references to pop and historical culture. In fact, many of its gags rely on the audience's knowledge of various content across media. This unique trait also can work in disfavor of the show, since the writers aren't afraid to cross boundaries for the sake of comedy.
Peter, what are you doing? Crack? What the fu-
It may be obvious to you already, but in case you don't know, Family Guy is known for containing offensive jokes against cultures, beliefs, and traditions. This is especially apparent when the content isn't understood by a majority of the audience. In other words, a joke may be deemed as unfunny or insensitive, when in reality it could very well be an homage or reference to something else. There's just one episode that I believe works best for giving an idea of what intertextuality is. It's done in a smart and faithful and educational way, all while staying true to the show's comedy.
You always find a way to embarrass us at my parents'.
Please pass the all fruit.
Pass the Polaner all fruit.
Pass the Polana all fruit.
Would you please pass the jelly?
If you're like me, you probably didn't understand the reference. I, at first, assumed that it was a callback to something much older than me. Which it was.
Hi. We're concerned that many of you Family Guy fans under 40 didn't get that reference, so I'm going to take you through the actual commercial. Okay, typical 80s stuffy brunch.
Please pass the all fruit.
Clearly the matriarch, she's got the most pearls.
Pass the Polaner all fruit.
Weird sexual tension there.
Pass the Polana all fruit.
Okay, watch. Here's where it all goes to hell.
Would you please pass the jelly?
See, he called it jelly. Okay, now you have the information that would have made that funny had you had it going in.
The thing about intertextual content is that it's basically an inside joke en masse. If a show in the 60s referenced something, it's more than likely that younger generations will not understand the reference. But older generations may understand it, which would enact a different response from them. What the writers of Family Guy do in this moment is include everyone in the joke. That way not a single person can misunderstand. This is something that hasn't really been done before in the show, nonetheless in television. What makes this cutaway even better is that the commercial was referenced again in the same episode.
Please pass the aspic.
I'll have the aspic.
I too will have the aspic.
Could you please pass the beef jelly?
Oh. Huh? See? Now aren't you glad we did all that work earlier?
Whereas in the initial clip it was niche, specific, and non-inclusive, this clip now has an enhanced comedic effect since the audience now understands the context. The additional inclusion of Russian President Vladimir Putin also adds a layer of social commentary, highlighting the show's tendency to incorporate real-world figures into its humor. This elevates the intertextual content, reflecting on global perceptions and stereotypes, which enhances the comedic effect overall and proves that the writers are willing to cross barriers for the sake of telling a funny story. And I think it can go without saying that Family Guy's use of intertextuality has been influential in shaping modern animated shows. Shows like South Park and The Simpsons also employ these kind of intertextual references, but Family Guy's rapid-fire delivery and willingness to tackle a broad spectrum of topics set it apart from the other shows. This episode in particular is a testament to Family Guy's familiarity of animated comedy that usually involves cultural literacy as a cornerstone of its humor. In conclusion, Family Guy's use of intertextuality serves as both a source of humor as well as a vehicle for cultural commentary. While it does require a certain level of cultural awareness from its audience to understand the humor, this episode in particular used a technique of contextualizing the text to enhance the overall viewing experience.
Eh? See? Now aren't you glad we did all that work earlier?
Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, follow for more, comment if there's any other analysis videos that you want to see, and I'll see you again another time.
Peter! Oh, God, sorry, you're right. Let's go to the dance.